She get rocky, but the show must go on. She get rocky, bullets hit like Stallone. Body dropping, trying to pay out Capone.
What's up, everybody? This is the Hot Shots Podcast. It's episode 3, season 2. Thank y'all for tuning in.
What up, everybody? Thank y'all for tuning in. Like he said, today we have another guest with us. She wanted to come out to join on this pretty controversial conversation that we about to have, just like the last episode. Thanks again, Ashley, for showing up. But go ahead and introduce yourself.
So my name is Raquel, and I'm 43, and I'm from Williamsburg, Virginia.
Okay. And she ain't afraid to say how old she is. So take notes, ladies. You know what I'm saying? I'm liking that. That's good. Well, you don't look 43. You know what I'm saying? So
Thank you.
We definitely know.
for sure. Well, today we wanted to talk about and we wanted to have 2 women up here since the dynamic, we could defend ourselves better. And we don't feel like we're bullying one, right. But you know what's gonna
I can
happen.
take it.
They gonna both end up on my case because that's what always happens anyway. So
Don't do that. Don't do that, bro.
But nah. So today we wanted to talk about what a man is, and what the definition of a man, your personal definition of a man.
Yeah.
What a man means to you as a woman, what a man means to you as a father, different things like that, So just the whole, it's a huge, it's one small statement, but it's a
It's a very
huge.
broad.
So many doubt.
It's
My
very
goodness,
broad.
yes,
That's
yes,
very
it affects a lot of things. So, what's a man to you, as a woman that's lived 43 years on planet Earth? What's a man to you?
A man, for me, is my equal. He's my better half. He's going to bring out everything that I didn't realize that I had in me. So, prime example, my dad was my ace.
Okay.
God rest his soul.
Yeah.
He passed away in 2019. I will admit
Rest in
that he
peace.
wasn't like when I was a child. He was always by my side.
Mm.
He was my provider. He was my protector. And I was his princess.
Okay.
And that's how he kept me. There were times that he did do some things wrong. Like, he wasn't the perfect man at all,
Okay.
at all costs. But he definitely tried his best when he was right. And then before he passed away, he got it right. Years before he passed away, he got it right.
You man, elaborating on why you say he wasn't the perfect man?
So my father was a heavy alcoholic.
Mm.
He was into a lot of things that, let's just say, a lot of people were into in the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Sure.
And so therefore, when it came down to, let's say, finances, sometimes we fell short. We moved a lot, and always wound up back at good old grandma's house. Like, grandma was always, the ace in the hole. Yeah. So like, that's what dad was just always, doing. Let's say he was doing some reckless stuff, but he always did try. He always came back and he tried. And especially for me, he would come into my room and he would sit and we would talk. Like, he would say, like, look up there in the ceiling. You see that grate right there? Like, that grate. Look at that grate as being anything you want it to be. So each square, and my cousin Teal said it best. He basically was like, each square could be a job or a want or anything that your heart's desired. Each little square in the grate, that was up to me, my dreams. It could always be a dream.
Okay.
My cousin Teal said that Williamsburg is only one county in one district in one state, and it's 51 states now, however many states that they are, and whoever's trying to change whatever, but that's something else. I digress. But she's one of those people that was like, would you rather have your heart broken here in Williamsburg or in Dubai? So Like my father was one of
international
those.
mindset.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my father was one of those people. He tried to make me dream bigger than what was in front of me.
Got you.
That's real.
So even though, let's say that there was like some physical aspects that did transpire within the house, not with me, but we'll just go ahead and call it abuse. There was a lot of abuse in the house.
Mhm.
But regardless, at the end of the day, I could be the one to come up to him and say, "Hey, Dad, stop," and he would.
Hmm.
Like, I changed his whole perspective.
So you was like the voice of reason.
I was the voice of reason.
So when you talk about abuse, you mean just physical, mental, emotional,
All of it.
all of the above?
All of it.
Mhm.
Well, I say physical, mental, emotional, but there was nothing ever directed towards me.
But
So,
you had
So it was
experience
but I had
between-
to experience
It was
third party,
between
like
dad and
mother.
mom.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So I definitely always was the one to jump in. So therefore, when it comes to my definition of a man, I need somebody that's going to meet me halfway and know that they can thrive and survive without my presence, but knowing that they have me as a want or a necessity for the potential growth in the future.
Do you expect your man to lead you?
I do. But also in that same aspect, I need for him to allow me to lead where I'm strong at.
When you stronger?
Right.
So you want it like mutual, pretty much
Correct.
like you
Correct.
lead, I lead where you lack, and you lead where I lack.
Absolutely.
50-50 partnership.
Absolutely.
I respect that. I like that.
Yeah.
What do you think, Mel? What's a man to you, bro?
A man to me is like, a man is somebody that handles responsibilities. And when I say that, I mean like whatever it takes to cover your responsibilities. If you need to be the one that's cooking, cleaning, washing the clothes, being with the kids, then that make you a hell of a man. If you need to be the one that's getting out there every day, working overtime, whatever fits, not one size fits all. And I hate that people put that on people to be like, oh, this man, as a man, you should be the one that's doing this, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I respect any man that's just present, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever it takes, like, y'all a team. So today, the woman might be at the top, you know what I'm saying, far as financially. Next week, the man might be on top. So everybody just play a part, but society got us in a way where we feel like, oh, nah, a man should do this, you lead, you do this, you do that, you know what I'm saying? It is a man's job to lead, though. I do acknowledge that. Like, I feel like a man should lead and a woman should follow, but like, I feel like everybody got to play your part, man. Whatever fits your situation, don't let society control
That part.
what you feel like, what they feel like is a man is. Like, if you a man and you handling your business as a man, that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying?
So my dad told me certain things when it come to this, and it's conversations we had when actually I was older and I started experiencing certain things, you know. So like, I always kind of expected a man to, you know, take care of his woman, take care of the kids. Like, you know, we were talking about the Bible earlier. Biblically, the man is supposed to. What was it say? I don't remember verbatim, but men was born to work. Women were born to bring forth life, right? So, like, a man is supposed to lead. Is supposed to provide. You know what I'm saying, for his household, and in my culture, it's very black and white like this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, of course you had strong women and all that work, because that's everywhere, you know? But a majority of it, the expectation is the men should be out working however many jobs he needs to handle business and to make sure the kids are fed, make sure the light bill and the water bill and all that's paid. You know what I'm saying? But something my dad kind of put it in my head when I got a little older and I started seeing that it's not quite that simple. He said to me that you can be the perfect man, right? Making every decision the right way.
Yeah.
But if you ain't got the right woman at home, right? The right wife, so to speak, right? Because everybody ain't married, but the right partner at home.
Yeah.
You know, you'll never get to where you need to get to. And, you know, now that I'm like, you know, I passed the 20s decade, I'm in my 30s now. What I've realized now is, you know, I did the whole leading the whole household by myself. When I say leading, I'm talking about financially, you know, working and taking care of the kids and the woman. And I never benefited from it. at all. I
But
never
where were
got
you going
any
to benefit?
It
There
was-
was no benefit
was
for
none.
you.
It was a man. It's a man state that's put upon us. So I feel like when people like perfect example, bruh. Rihanna's a billionaire.
Mhm.
ASAP Rocky maybe got 10, 20 million.
Yeah.
So she looked the happiest she ever looked.
Yeah.
Whether she was with Chris Brown, whatever the situation is. So according to other people, you would say like, nah, you need to be the man, need to be the one that provide. Like at the end of the day, nah, like she might not be the provider because he's successful too, but she is way light years ahead, more successful than him. So it's like whatever fits you. Like stop letting society run your household.
True.
Like whatever fits you, like that's what you go with.
Don't you
get
think
what I'm
that's
saying?
kind of difficult though? Because like, and you know, you're here as a woman, you can answer this. I've seen situations with my own eyes
Yeah.
where women who make more money and who tend to run the house in a financial way, they tend to start resenting the men because of like they're lacking in certain attributes that they would want the man to have. Let's say he ain't really, I don't know. Let's say she's paying all the bills and she's doing everything, but there's certain things that she would love for him to do, but that's just not him.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And then it ends up becoming like, well, you know, I'm already paying all the bills anyway. Why do I need this guy? You see, why do I need him here? Why, you know what I'm saying? I've seen those
You're
cases.
right though, and it does do that. And it only, you know, when that comes in effect with a weak man. If you somebody that you know your worth, you gonna be like, I don't fuck what you make. You can make $100 million every
Yeah.
year. I'm telling you, I'm the man. You know what I'm saying? This was going on because
Right.
you know what I'm saying. Whereas you might make the most money, but I install the discipline around this
Mhm.
motherfucker. I protect our house. I do this. Like whatever I do. So everything ain't got to be financial. See, a lot of times people look at shit as black and white. They be like, oh, you ain't paying everything, you can't run nothing. A lot of times I feel like you just a sucker that just pay for everything.
Mhm.
Sometimes
Yeah,
people
no.
get ran over because they got the money and they paying everything on the girl and she do what she wants. She probably got a dude on the side or whatever. Like, nah, I don't give a fuck if I make $1 a day, bro. Like, I'm gonna still be the same person I am.
Right.
Whether if I make $1 a day or I make 100 million a day.
Right,
You get what
right,
I'm saying?
right,
So
right,
it depends on the type of man you dealing with or the type of person you dealing with.
Okay. Well, what do you think?
That's how I
As,
feel.
My thing is that who is your society? Like I personally don't live to please whatever society is. My society is my surroundings, and so therefore I move based off of what I see
Okay.
in my everyday world.
Okay.
So therefore I don't look for my man to be able to, like, if he wants to take me out, then he wants to take me out. But if I want to take him out, I'm going to take him out. I'm going to treat, I'm going to drive. I'm going to do everything that, because this is what I decided to do for him because he's deserving of it. And therefore, I know that I have plenty of friends that don't feel that same way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they are just like, oh, he does this for me. He does, you know, and I'm like, but are you happy?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, sometimes those same people who are, he's paying for you to get your nails and your feet done, and he may have bought you an outfit. All right, that's all fine and dandy and do, but what did he do for the next bitch over there?
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10 that there's somebody in the back door. But if somebody is meeting you halfway, like, I know that life happens, and so, like, prime example, my boyfriend has his household and he has his 2 kids that he is helping,
Yeah.
like, he has to help raise.
Yeah.
And so therefore, and I only have one, and my daughter's grown. In fact, I mean, she just had a baby. Like, I'm so proud. Like, I'm
Yeah.
proud of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel as though you should always be proud of what it is that you achieve and you bring to the table.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, when it comes down to what society expects of you, don't let anybody else put those type of standards on you. You put your own standards on what it is that you want for your life, and that's your society. So, like, that whole how men.
So I saw the negatives in the sense of, so I think what I did was I made people kind of like, how do I say this? You know, things just happened. All right, we need groceries. Santa Claus brought groceries. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah.
Like, we need another car. Okay, there's another car in the driveway. So there was this like perception that, oh, like, he can make it happen, and it's not that difficult.
She got lax, you think?
But I'm not gonna say necessarily, but yeah, sure.
No, I was just talking about.
No, no. But I mean, you're not wrong. Maybe I can't say for sure, but I did what I started to get from it was, it made like I remember something my ex-wife said to me was when she came here and she was kind of peeping things, instead of looking at it like, you know what, okay, Pete's worked this hard and he's accomplished this, well, let me try to bring this accomplishment
Something
to it.
the table.
Yes,
What she would say
absolutely.
would be things like, yeah, I could do the same thing. And and it was good, but the way she said it, it was like competing,
Yeah.
right? So there's
Yeah.
no partnership, it's more opposition,
I'm trying
right?
to show you I can do it.
Yeah, I could do it too, but it was
You
like,
can't compare.
so but that's the thing, because sometimes people see things, they think it's easy. Oh, poor thing.
No.
They think it's easy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because of, like I said, Santa Claus just brought food and car, all this stuff was just happening, not realizing, like this dude is working crazy hours.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You getting, making mistakes on the job because you're tired, or getting yelled at by your boss because you made a mistake on the job because
Not
you're
getting
tired. You know what
or
I'm
whatever
saying?
the
Not getting no
situation is.
sleep.
Yeah.
So like I saw that side of it, and then I also saw more recently, the other side of it, where, like you said earlier, where your girl can say, hey, I booked us a trip, take off work this time and this time, just come. You ain't got to pay, you ain't got to, if you want to pay for something, you can, but it's already paid for.
Yeah.
And I had
Actually,
never experienced that before.
We a partnership.
And
That's
it's
the true
like,
definition
what
of
the
a partnership, though.
Yeah, right.
So,
right.
so like, I feel like that's what people really be looking for, but like, society teaches us something different. So it feel like the demand should be like, if I do want to take this trip, I should take care of everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or whatever the scenario is. And it's like, if people allow that to happen, like, man, nah, find you a woman she ain't got to be your
That's
equal.
what I'm
She ain't
saying.
got to be doing better. What?
So, but it's also in that timeline, because like my very first relationship, like I said, I was with this person, let's just say, like I said, 10 years
Mhm.
total. And immediately within the first 2 years, like, he put a ring on it, but then he started cheating on me. So then it's kind of like, what am I not doing that I'm not good enough just to be his one and only? So then I started trying to change the way that I dressed, started working out, just started trying to do little things that I thought that he felt as though I was lacking, when in all honesty, he was the one that was really lacking. And I was doing everything, I don't want to say I was doing everything right, but I wasn't doing anything that
was deserving of his like responses
to be that
you.
deceit.
Got
yeah,
you.
For
Got
that
you.
deceit.
Okay.
So therefore, it's kind of like, at what point in life do you pick up your womanhood and your manhood, and then move forward from there? Because when you first getting out here and you're starting to date, and everybody looks good. I won't say everybody looks good.
I know what you're saying.
good.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, like, it's like, oh, I could have my pickup here, or I could have my pickup there, or like I can get this number here,
So
and then go back
man,
there.
you just hit a good point, because a lot of people mistake boys for men,
Right.
like behaviors of boys, because they assume that because you're over 18 or over 21 that you should be grown up.
Yeah, no.
And you got
Absolutely not.
people who are just hitting, like, they're 25, 26, whether they were in college or whether they were just not confident to move out of their parents' like home. They're legit just now finding out what life is, meaning not even just sexually, like, because of course I believe, that as a man, you need to have at least a threesome before you decide to tie it down. You need to have,
Yeah.
you need to
Get
mess
all-
with
get
a
all of
bunch
that
of
out the
different
way.
races, bunch of different shapes, sizes, all that. You need to go out here and experience and learn who you are before you're willing to say, you know what, I'm ready to settle down. Because if you don't, there's a high probability you're gonna go out here and get
eventually.
curious.
Like, you don't know
You
when,
will.
but
Yeah,
it's
it's gonna kick in,
Yeah,
because we're
kick in.
weak, bro. Like, and I'm not saying men, I'm saying human beings are
Humans.
weak. That's it. So, it's a way of developing strength, by kind of testing the waters and realizing, okay, I know how to swim, so now I know I need a life vest. I don't need to get in the pool no more. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, like, that being said, on the other side of paying bills, you got guys that are in there, like, they're 25, 26, 27 years old. They never paid a bill. They never had to.
No, sure.
So how can you expect him to be a man if he doesn't know how to pay a bill? He's never had to pay a bill.
yeah.
Okay, I paid a phone bill. What's that?
But yeah, that's not a
Like,
You mean
what-
like a real big,
right,
Like, I don't
like,
pay this
what's the
shit, this shit
struggle?
gonna get cut off.
Right.
You gonna be out.
What's the
Exactly.
struggle that you have been through as a man? Let's say, you know, like we talked about this when I had to, like, when I was like working, making 15 an hour, and I had car payments and taking care of my ex and the little girl and you know, my daughter, and paying all the bills, and my budget was so tight, and missing one bill or messing up the money somehow, you know how that shakes up the whole foundation, bro.
For sure.
Shit like that put hair on your chest, bro. Like,
Nah,
that helps you grow, and you know, being able to get through that without going to somebody else and saying, hey, can you, that, I think that kind of elevates the manhood, you know, in men. And I actually believe that a lot of men need to go through a little bit of a, you know, rigorous molding, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
But
Go
then
through a little bit of
You
everybody-
gotta
struggle.
go through something to build character.
But
If you never
everybody-
go through nothing, it'll never. Yeah, not just man.
No,
anybody.
I know for sure, but
Yeah,
remember,
anybody.
no, you're right.
You
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to go through
For
something
sure.
to build character
For
because
sure.
there's a lot of people that don't go through stuff and they're 40, 50, 60 and they're the same way.
Yeah,
They expect somebody to
Right.
take care of their needs.
Right.
They expect for somebody to
But
provide
see,
them with
remember-
housing or whatever the situation is. Like, and that's
Right.
not. And that's
but remember,
reality.
what are men supposed to be able to do? Lead, right? Men are supposed to, should be able to lead. If
Lead,
they
protect,
can't,
and provide.
right? If they can't go through these little things and survive, how can they lead? That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
But if they've never been shown how to lead
That's what I'm
either,
saying.
That's the other part. I
that's
was
the
just gonna
biggest
say that. That's 100 because a lot of our kids were never seen it. So like we're freestyling
Mm-hmm.
in a sense. Like
Yeah.
even me as being a father, like I'm freestyling as being a father because I mean I had a grandfather, so I seen what my grandfather do. Like my grandfather, you know, paid the bills, took care of the family. Like I seen that, but like I feel like it's still a disconnect. It's a difference between a grandfather and a father, unless you're
Yeah.
like directly.
Living under his roof all the time, and
You get
he's
what I'm
like
saying?
in
Like
charge
that's your
of
father.
discipline.
Like you know, like sometimes a grandfather will step
Yeah.
up and be like, "This your father," because your
Yeah.
father completely.
yeah,
So I feel like if you don't have that, like I feel like that's the issue that we're having. So but one thing I can say and salute the our generation, man. These guys, even if they didn't know, we're doing a lot better.
yeah, because
Like,
we
from
realized
what I
yeah.
see, bro.
I
Like I
agree.
like even like everybody. Like I say, I don't really deal with too many people that don't.
Right,
I even know people that ain't even in the best situation, but they still make sure they make time to get their kids and buy them
Exactly.
shoes. And there used to be times where dudes want to want nothing for
yeah,
the kids. Like
yeah.
I ain't going to see my kid. I ain't buying.
And that
shoes.
was
Like,
it was almost like it was accepted. You know what I'm saying? For them
Yeah.
to behave like that. There was no real accountability. I think what that shift could be, Mel, is society is seeing more and talking about it more now. Like
sure.
we're seeing the negative impacts of some of our fathers, you know, for when we were growing up, not being involved and not being
Absolutely.
around. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
I think if you're able to avoid the trap, so everybody know because I always speak about it. But I went to prison, but I didn't have kids when I went to prison.
Right.
So when I came home from prison, my mind frame is different.
Yeah.
So if I would have had kids before I went to prison, I'm 17, 18, 19, then maybe my child grew up differently because my way of thinking is different.
Yeah.
But the fact that
For
I
sure.
come home at 30 plus,
for sure.
now that I have a kid, I like shit that I can be like, I think about doing, and I'll be like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. 'cause
And
I
some
know
of it, you
this-
just don't have the energy to do it, bro.
It ain't even that you don't have
At 30, at 35, you ain't trying to be doing some of the
You-
things
you-
as a 19-year-old.
You're right. It ain't. You're right.
Yeah.
But not really because if you don't have a kid, like even before I had my kid, it's a lot of shit that I was willing to try or
Yeah.
jump in that water and try to accomplish because
Mhm.
whether it's a quick come up or whatever the situation, I was willing. But when you had kids that give you something to, like you had your daughter early,
Yeah.
you know, so it
Yeah.
give you something to be like, nah, I know I can't crash out because how it affect my daughter. I know if I crash out right now and I go to prison or I lose my life, how that'll affect my son, bro. Like when my son wake up, he look for me.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? He wake up in the middle of the night, he don't
absolutely.
he don't be like, oh, I want mama. He be like, where my dad at? You get what I'm saying? So I understand, like, damn, if I was to lead this little dude life, like, it'll fuck him up. Like, I don't know how this affect him 5, 6, 7, 8 years down the road. So
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
like, maybe I ain't gonna do that shit today. I ain't gonna do that shit, period. Like my way of thinking.
Yeah.
So it kinda goes with that, you know?
So I think it's interesting. So when I had my daughter, I had already had so when I was in my teens, I had already laid out this plan, right?
Mhm.
I was like, okay, when I hit 25, I wanted to already buy my house. I wanted to already be married and have a kid. I had already said that when I was in my teens. Like for some reason that was in my mind.
Yeah.
And I accomplished 2 of those things. I had my daughter, and I had my house and I had my daughter,
Yeah.
and then but I never got married, right? My daughter's mom and I never worked out. But I ended up getting married when I was like 27, 28. So I was still in my 20s, but I had these goals kind of set for myself. Now, you're right. When you have a kid, it forces you to be structured. If
Yes.
you are a person that's responsible, obviously you could just be doing what you want to do regardless of the kid, you know what I'm saying?
You
Or
can have a
not.
kid, not be a father.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, even my neighbors, they were watching me kind of growing up. Because actually one of my neighbors, him and my dad were friends when I was still a teenager. He always said, "Man, you went at adulthood running, bro. Like adulthood, like you ran at it, bro, and you ain't never stopped running." So my definition as a man, I kind of always like, I don't know. I always looked for that structure. I always looked for that that path that led me towards the goals that I wanted to, you know what I'm saying? And to be honest, it's interesting because I think I still live like that today. Like I still have those same kind of, checkpoints. You know what I'm saying? And if my surroundings don't allow for the checkpoints, I'll get rid of my surroundings so I could keep on that path. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Would you say that like having a father kind of like led you to that? Like,
Well,
not directly,
Mhm.
but like even if you watching it, visualizing it, like
I would say with dad, because like I was, because some of the conversations that we had up here, I was looking at my dad and my relationship, and my dad and I are very similar, but also very different. You know what I'm saying? And I would say his presence and watching him lead and watching the mistakes that he made, I definitely did learn from that. You know what I'm saying? Because like, remember what I said.
Yeah.
No human's perfect, so he's never gonna do everything perfectly.
Nobody.
And sometimes, like she was saying, having a father in the household and a mother can be actually bad. It can actually be negative. Like, like when my dad and my mom, when they were going through their divorce, it affected us greatly, bro.
Yeah.
Like we were like really affected by it. The one who would say he wasn't was probably my little brother because he was too
He
young.
ain't really get
Exactly. But all of us, just 2-parent household, and then boom, they split. It was crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? It affected our grades, it affected our concentration, all of that. But that focus was there. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I just, I always kind of knew what I wanted out of life. So I just, I'm still at it.
So what would be your advice to somebody that didn't have that same thing? Like if he didn't,
as far as a dad,
yeah, if he didn't know, like he didn't know, like he never like he didn't see that. You know what I'm saying?
So a lot of the things that I learned, and I know this is gonna sound crazy, but okay, so like my dad left Jamaica for 5 years when I was younger. 5 years in a kid's life, it's a long time.
Not for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of what I had of him was memory. See what I'm saying? Memory from what I saw, what I thought, what I imagined. Because he was here, he had to be here for a while, just the way the immigration system works, before he could bring us here. And then bringing us here was also some time. You see what I'm saying? So there was a time when I ain't seen him for 5 years.
That's
bro.
a long time.
So, but his presence, even though he was gone, it's like he was still there because we talked on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Like he still disciplined us, and we still respected the voice and what you doing? And okay, you still kind of felt that fear. You know what I'm saying? You still had it. Exactly. So what I would say to a young guy that's like, okay, I don't have a father physically with me, there is somebody around you that you can like either mimic positively or mimic negatively. And when I say mimic negatively, I mean like look at the things he did that got him to where he is and don't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or look at the things that he did that got him to where he is and try to do it. Maybe ask him a question. I believe that there's somebody, well, at least one person, whether it's a male or female. I don't think it necessarily has to be a male. I think like when I was working out in the gym, you wouldn't believe it, bro. My success in the gym did not come from watching the dudes working out, because all them dudes was doing was and leg day, bro, chest and leg. That's it. But when you watch the women work out, the ones that are actually in there trying to get, they work out their whole bodies, bro. Sure. So if you look at them not for the reason of just like, yo, she bad, but you looking at her because she's actually the technique and what she's doing and the focus. I looked
You
at a
see
lot
her
of women and I
progression.
learned. I was
Yeah.
like, boom, I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna start doing this core, da 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 da. But I don't think like so I guess that's my advice. Like just pay attention to people. If you see a homeless person, ask them like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like, how'd you get here?
Yeah.
Man, I was in the military. Yeah, I went here. It kind of messed up my mind. And yeah, I made some mistakes. Drugs. Avoid that. Don't do them drugs. Don't, like. And I know it's easier said than done, obviously. You know what I'm saying? But that would be my advice to them.
Yeah. And it's crazy because like a lot of times like people be like, don't do drugs and shit like that. And it's like a lot of times that should be hereditary. Like
Oh, you think so?
and I know so. So
Really?
yeah, that's why I stay away from drugs. You know what I'm saying?
You don't be
I
addicted
don't
personality.
smoke weed. I know I know we have addictive personality.
Really?
For sure.
Oh,
yeah.
shit. I never thought of that. Because
Yeah.
none of us have drug problems. None of us.
Yeah,
None
so,
of us, bro.
So you don't know this until you get older, bro. So I was maybe like 16, 17, and I tried ecstasy, bro.
Yeah.
I love ecstasy.
Damn.
You get what I'm saying? When
Yeah.
I say I love ecstasy, and it's not because of how ecstasy made me feel, it was the combination of the interaction I had with women with the ecstasy and all that shit. So
okay.
it took me back to like knowing that I have a based off my father, you know what I'm saying? We have based off my father and his mother, we have on that side of the family, we have that capability of like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like now it's like to me, I'm like, I don't even smoke weed, bro.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I don't do nothing because
yeah.
like I ain't even gonna say I just don't really like being real high. I like being on point. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
for
at all
sure.
times. So
Well, you
even
ain't got time. You got them young kids at home.
I mean, even in general, even in general, though, like I would, the most I would do is drink. You know what I'm saying? Like plenty of time, my partners and they smoking back to back. Sometimes peer pressure, motherfucker. I might hit that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Right, hit this shit. I'm too
Yeah.
high, bro. I'm paranoid, man. What's going on?
He ain't got no tolerance no more. That's what it is. It'll be like if I did it. I ain't got no tolerance.
I just don't.
I don't smoke, so I don't.
It don't really do nothing for me. Like even if I smoke and I get high, like I used to smoke and get high and feel like, yeah, I'm high. Like
Yeah.
now I'm smoking high. I'm like, bro, what the fuck, I ain't smoking no more.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
You remember when we were growing up, and
So
I know we're veering off a little bit. If you remember, I was never really like I would do it
Yeah.
sometimes,
Yeah.
but I was never like, yo, man, where did it? Even
Yeah.
if I had money, it was never like this need, bro.
Yeah.
And I always thought it was just because of how we grew up. Like,
See, I was addicted. At that age when I met you, I was addicted to marijuana.
really?
What? I was addicted, bro. I had pounds of weed at the house. I was smoking conscious. Like, I used to get off on, like, I'm gonna make somebody tap out. Like, they come to my house.
Oh,
and
yeah.
smoke
So,
unlimited weed, like, cause I had the shit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I'm selling weed, I'm smoking weed, so I got off it. And it's like me getting older and maturing and realizing, like, I be telling people, like, motherfuckers that life don't be together, or they just coming home from prison. I'm like, bro, don't even smoke weed, bro.
Yeah.
That shit gonna keep
Get
you
your-
stagnant.
yeah,
and they don't catch it. They'll be like, all right, but they get smoking.
Yeah.
And then they wonder why shit ain't going the way they wanted to go.
Facts,
And I'm like,
facts.
bro, like, anything you do, like, even if you drink or whatever, that's like for celebration. Like, if you go out, you want to.
So what you're saying is anything you do, make sure there's a reason behind it. Don't just be like indulging in stuff just to indulge.
Don't
in it.
get hooked on it.
Yeah.
So if you feel like it's a motherfucker that told me he can't eat till he smoke weed.
Move.
I said, shit,
That's
you might as well
interesting.
be on crack.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you at the point where you got your mind to the point where
Yeah.
I'm going to eat. Fuck that marijuana, fuck that guy.
yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
get up.
You know, I'm gonna say one thing, and I'm gonna ask you a question. That's one thing I have realized myself. I don't realize about myself. I don't indulge.
Right.
So like, I might like, I never really indulged in women as far as like having multiple women at the same time. Like we all went through our little phases. You know what I'm saying? Of trying
Absolutely.
different things and all that. But I don't indulge, and the reason why I don't is I don't think I have the personality to indulge. I don't have the patience for indulgence. Like, so for instance, like even alcohol, I don't want to. I'd lose my patience if I had to go buy like 3-4 bottles of this in 1 week. I said, man, hell no! What the hell? I'm not doing that. You know, weed, same thing. If I'm texting too many women at the same time, I'm gonna get annoyed by that, bro. I'm gonna be like, look, my phone going off too much. Turn that shit off. I don't want to hear nothing. Like, bro, at one point I was on a dating app or something, and I was Bumble. And I think on Bumble, you heard of Bumble? And okay, of course you know about Bumble. I was like, what? Of course I know about Bumble. And I was like, so I matched with a few women, right? And like, I think it was early in the morning. I got all these text messages that said good morning. And after I replied, bro, I was so like I felt like I needed a cigarette, dog, and I don't even smoke. I was like, man, I ain't doing this no more. So I just don't like to, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's a part of it too. And I think, you know, going back to being a man, I think, you know, that kind of helps me. I guess it keeps me grounded in a way, you know? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, so what I'll say is that, so my insight is probably just a little bit different because my parents took the role of, so my mom basically raised my brother.
Really?
My dad basically raised me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. But then I also look at it as like my brother missed out because I picked up a lot of good gems. Like my dad taught me to have my own place. Never let have my own place. Never let anybody be able to put you out.
Okay.
Have your own car. Never let anybody be able to tell you when you can and cannot leave. And make sure you have your own job with your own money, so that way you can pay for whatever it is you want. Yeah, and so therefore, like, but my brother didn't get those gems.
Okay.
I got all those gems. So therefore, I got my first car when I was 19. I got my house when I was 23, and I put myself through school by the time I was 19.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Granted, yes, I'm a medical assistant, and I'm in my career. I'm in my field, and I'm very well respected. But all of that is because of what my father instilled in me.
Okay.
So when I look at a man, I look at it again as an equal partnership, because if you can't meet me halfway, what
What's your
good are you
purpose?
going to be for me? Like there's no need for us to have a conversation. I won't even say there's no need for us to have a conversation, because I met my boyfriend on Tinder. Okay, 6 years strong.
Wow, really? I don't hear much success on Tinder. All you hear is about sex on Tinder. That's sad. Like,
But yeah, 6 years strong, and
That's
therefore
what's up.
he does and he makes sure that his household is taken care of first, and then when it's time for if he has that extra, then that's what he does. But he makes sure that he can pay his bills. He makes sure that he get his kids to and from, as well as himself from work, and he makes sure that he has a roof over their head. So like he checks all of my first three criterias. Like, and then everything else that he does bring to the table is extra, but I try to meet him halfway
Got you.
with everything.
Got you. Okay.
And that's how I feel like all relationships should be. But you also have to go through things.
So what about those women who say they don't want the whole, because there are a lot of women who say they don't want to deal with 50-50. They don't want a man.
Nah, they want the man to be
They don't
the
want
sole
to be 50-50.
provider.
Yes. What
as a
they
woman,
see,
what do you
it must
think
be what
about?
I can only speak on what I was shown growing up.
Yeah.
So like I could sit there and waver over the abuse aspect, but I also saw what my father was trying to do was instill respect. Like he's the head of the household. So like
Are you saying it was a power struggle? Is
got
that
it.
what you're trying to say?
like yeah, I got it.
Okay.
There was a power struggle,
Okay.
but in all honesty, it wasn't a power struggle.
Okay.
He just thought it was because
Oh.
of some of the vices that he had was putting these negative thoughts into his head.
Got you.
But when he was there and he was with it, he was washing the dishes, he was vacuuming, he was taking me to school, he was taking my brother to school, like
He
he
did
was
whatever
doing
he needed to
everything
do,
that he
yeah.
was supposed to do. And then when it came time for him to relax, what he chose to do to relax is what he chose to do to relax. But again, when I could run up in there and be like, hey, remember this face?
Yeah.
Then he's like, oh, like, and he snaps out of it.
You ever encountered somebody that you was like, while you was dating or anything like that, that had like, was manipulative? Like that knew how to play on your emotions and the way you act, and like they knew everything to say, the right thing to say? Cause you deal with there's a lot of guys out there that know how to
I
catch a
think
woman.
everybody knows how to do that, though.
Nah, but I'm talking about you right. There's some dudes that just know how to talk, but I'm talking about people that have ill intentions. So like I'm telling you certain things because I'm trying to get something out you, or I'm trying to get you to feel a certain way about me. Whereas I might not be where exactly where I need to be, but I know if I stroke your ego or make you
Oh.
feel a certain type of way. And it's like a lot of people have ill intentions when they dealing with people.
Are you
Other
trying to
sex.
say like they not on her level, but they trying to make it seem like they are?
It ain't even
Or-
not even if they on their level or not, but that's just their whole thing. They might be equal, but his whole
Yeah.
thing might be to be like, man, let me see what I can
What
I can pull from her, what I can get from her.
You know what? Yes.
And there's a lot of men
actually,
like that. You know
Wow,
what I'm saying?
okay.
A lot of women like
Actually,
that. I ain't just gonna say
Yeah,
I
yeah.
ain't
Well,
gonna put it
I
in
think
just
it's
men.
more normal for I'm not gonna say normal, accepted for women to be like
I
that.
think it's both. Bro.
like
I
for
think
women to get
just-
more out of the relationship than a man. I think it's more
I
accepted.
think it's just I think we just look at it like that. I think
Okay.
it's somebody like I feel like, all right, if you're dealing with a woman and she a 10, then you probably know it's a certain type thing you gotta do. Now if you're dealing with a woman and she just, she cute or she not, you know what I'm saying? Like she just a nice girl. You fuck with her, she cute, but then you probably feel like, all right, well look, I can pull this out of her because I'm used to dealing with this caliber of woman. You get what I'm saying? So it works both ways, whereas the woman can do the same thing. So I was just asking her from that because I wonder how she felt about that. You know what I'm saying?
I did deal with one person that was
Interesting.
manipulative like that, and even had me super stupid, like driving from West Point to Norfolk, like when I got off from work, like knowing that I had to be to work at 7:30 the next morning, and here I am leaving Norfolk at 1:00 in the morning because he felt some type of way.
We all been through that though. Maybe not all, but a lot of us has been through.
Yeah,
that.
but
I've
I
done
mean,
crazy stuff like that before.
But once
too,
I
don't
realized it, because he had me really thinking that he was out here working, trying to start his own business. And then when we would have a minor disagreement and he would think that I'm not talking to him, but literally I'm working. Like I work with my hands.
worry.
So
I can't be answering my phone. I can't be texting. Like, I mean, come on. Like,
Yeah.
I got a job.
call
to
us,
do.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so now here it is, you're blowing me up. And then when I get off from work and I'm calling you back and he's like, I need to see you. I need you to come down here. What is it about? I'll tell you when you get down here.
Mm.
Like, all right, cool. Then here I am. Are you mad at me? That's it. That's it.
Mhm.
That's all you want to know. We couldn't have this conversation over the phone.
Mhm.
So,
You
and
think it was control?
I think that definitely was a control thing.
That sounds like insecurity to me, to be honest.
Nah,
with
I
you.
think it was control, and I'm gonna tell you why. Insecurity would be like, see, it could be insecurity, but it can also be control. See,
Mhm.
some people they
He was a
They-
Sagittarius, I'll say that.
they know how to. Oh, I'm a Scorpio, so I can't speak for the Sagittarius, but they know I'm close to them, I guess. But some people know how to. I'm guilty of this, bro. Like I know what to say to get my woman to a certain way or to react a certain way. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of men use this power. You get what I'm saying? So women go off emotions. So that's the thing a lot of men do. And they're like, a lot of men don't. If you're a pure hearted person, like you'll be like, nah, I ain't on that. But a lot of people know that they can. So I show her an attitude or something. Now it's gonna make her feel like she did something wrong. Now she's trying to figure out what's going on. I'm trying to goddamn get this shit together. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
The whole time you playing man games. You know what I'm saying? Women
I
don't
ain't smart enough to do so.
Women don't play these because you just Peter. You who you are. You like I ain't gonna fake for you. You know what
It's
I'm saying?
me,
But
no matter
like
who I'm around.
the situation, the situations I had to been in, I've been in and shit. I put myself in. I had to be times where I had to put a mask on. You know what I'm saying? I had to put a mask on and act a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? You can reel somebody in like that. You get what I'm saying? I remember one time, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? I told that I thought me being like I reeled the girl in first. You know what I'm saying? I reeled her in and I thought by me being honest, like, look, man, I got a whole situation going on. She went the fuck off. You get what I'm saying? Like, you should have just told me that from the jump. But a lot of men don't. But my thing is like, damn, well, I told you. She's like, shit, you should have told me that from the jump. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
instead of reeling me in and doing all
Making me
this,
feel a
whining
certain
and dining
way.
me and making me feel a certain type of way, I'm thinking you straight
Single. Yeah.
for me single. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But so it's like it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? And that was a learning lesson for me. And that told me to be like, damn, bro, just always be 100. Like, don't try. Cause I thought like, you know, I started off with ill intentions, but I fucked it with her, so like, let me just tell her my situation. Let's see if she accept that. But she won't go for that shit. She was like, nah, I ain't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it taught me, like, I grew up, like, it made me mature as a man. I'm like, all right, well, now I just know from off the jump, I'm just gonna be completely honest with my intentions, and that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought I was really doing something righteous. Like, Sean, you know what I'm saying? But she like, nigga, you already then.
Yeah.
That
You done
took a
got me
lot out
feeling
of
for
though,
you and
right?
stuff, having
Like it
feelings
took a
for
lot
you.
out of you, right?
What you mean?
Like with
To tell her that?
No, to be trying to play, like to be here and to be there and to be doing everything that.
Nah, it didn't. I didn't have to. I could have kept it up. You know what I'm
He had the time.
I
He had
coulda-
the time.
I could have kept it up.
Well, because you didn't have a kid. You didn't have your kids.
Nah,
now,
I
right?
did.
Yeah.
But I'm saying I could have kept it up.
Yeah.
But it was just like I felt like me telling you was me being real.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But like, nah, me being real would have been me telling you that from the jump.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had to grow to learn it. Now
Sure.
I understand that. So I'm like, all right, so if I'm in a situation where I do decide to go that route, just tell her off the jump. Look,
Right.
Shawty, this is what it is. A, B, C. This is what I got going
So-
on. You get what I'm saying?
so as far as,
Instead of
like,
being
the-
manipulative. You know what I'm saying?
True. So as far as the 50-50 thing, like, you know, do you think if going back to that, what do you think about, like, you know, situations where people, and when I say 50-50, I don't mean just what I hear people say nowadays is financially they don't want to deal with, you know, they don't look, if you want 50-50, then you're not a man or whatever, like you're not, you know what I'm saying? What do you?
I'm sorry, I'm a 50-50 type of chick.
Yeah, because
I'm
I
a
know you
50-50
said
type
that's
of
your
chick.
surroundings. You kind of saw what you saw was not really what they're talking about.
No, so like that's what I'm saying. So like this whole conversation about what a man is, like it's all based on, to me, what your upbringing was or how you see things just around you.
Mhm.
And so therefore, like I never want to be a burden on anybody.
Mm,
And so therefore I don't want to put everything that I have on my man.
mm-hmm.
Like I want him to know that I'm his safe space
Mhm.
just as well as he should be my safe
Yeah,
space.
yeah.
So therefore we should be able to come to each other to be able to have a conversation or just to be like last week I was having a bad day and all I did was send him the sad face emoji and the puffing out air. Just
Yeah,
those two
the
emojis.
sigh, yeah.
And he was like, "What's wrong, babe?" Like immediately, "What's wrong, babe?" Like he wanted to talk about it. He wanted
Okay.
to help me
Yeah,
work it
yeah,
out,
dude.
to figure it out. And then once I said what I said, he was like, "I'll be here waiting for you with a hug."
Mhm.
And like it's just those little things that make me feel like, you know what? I was just worried about whatever just happened just for no reason. Like I got
big.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I think that people who, whenever I hear it, and I usually hear it on social media, there are certain things that I've never run into in person.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was dating and stuff, like I never met a woman who openly said to me, "I'm not gonna date a man that don't make under a certain amount of money." I've never heard that personally. You hear it all the time on social media though. I've never heard a woman say, "Well, you know, when we're like going on dates, say stuff like, oh, are you gonna expect me to pay bills?" Like it's never even come up, you know what I'm saying? But for some reason, now obviously I'm not in the dating world, so it's a new thing, I guess. But it's interesting that people are starting out like having those conversations in the beginning, which is interesting because life is so much bigger than who's paying 50% of what bill, because you know, if we're starting a family together and the mindset you have is you have to take care of, you know, me and yourself and the kids forever,
Yeah.
no matter what, that tells me that if I'm sick or if anything happens, I'm on my own.
yeah,
I'm
that
on my
part.
own. Well, literally, she's a more than likely she's just gonna go. You know what I'm saying? I'm on my own. You know what I'm saying? And when I look at situations like that, I don't see the incentive. Now, there is this case where you have some men saying, well, what's in it for a man to take care of a woman that doesn't bring anything other than just her? What's the incentive? And, you know, that's kind of why I wanted to talk about this topic, because I was watching something online and it was this kind of conversation this guy was having. Well, why should we take care of you? Why should a man, you know, why should he want to? And the woman's answer was, you know, a man should want to take care of his woman. A man should. And, you know, obviously that's what society taught. You know what I'm saying? You can't really blame her because that's what we've all heard that. Yeah. All of us have heard that. So when I heard that conversation, I was like, that's interesting. Who's right and who's wrong in this? Because you can't say either one of them are right or wrong, because guess what? Society taught them both what they're saying. And each person had their own definition of anything. I can tell you what a woman means to me, and the definition of my woman is probably going to be different than yours, and different from yours. Who is a woman, right?
Exactly.
So like, you can't really say who's wrong or right, but in that situation, who makes, like, are they both making sense? You know what I'm saying? Should a man, like, are you a man if you don't take care of your woman? Are you a man if you do take care of your woman? You see what I'm saying?
It's all in it's all in interpretation. Yeah. So like, in that situation, you can be like, all right, if you look at somebody like a Malcolm X, like, this woman that have to do nothing for him but what she did for him, and that's what he needed.
Yeah.
But that might not be the scenario for the next person. So you have to look at whatever fits. It's not one size fit all when it comes to this. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so
of course.
If this woman is 6-7 generations, got money or whatever, and she's just successful, she already got a business, she might not need you to take care of her financially, but she might need security. She might need guidance. She might need, so it's not one, the issue we have is people think it's one side, like, no, a man should make this amount of money because you could take care of that. Nah, the man can be the person that should be like, nah, babe, look, we're going to manage your money. We're going to stop spending. We're going to stop eating out as much. We're going to do this. Let's get into something like what you like to do. You say you like to install wigs. Let's go ahead and get into your business and let's figure this out. You know what I'm saying? That's all it's about. It's about figuring out what you need for that person. Like, every person is different. You could be dealing with this girl and she could be rich. You could be dealing with this girl and she not be rich. But the girl that's not rich and struggling y'all might can accomplish more because she know what she need to do to bring to the table. She know, like, all right, when they get home, he might need his back rub. He gonna need this hot meal. You know what I'm saying? And the whole time, the girl that's a whole supportive woman. Like, oh, I'm an independent woman. I don't need nothing. I ain't rubbing no nigga back. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on your scenario. You have to, like, it's not one size fit all when it comes to this. You have to do what feels right for you and what goes for your situation. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Because if we 50-50, then we 50-50.
Yeah. You know now, what does 50-50 mean? And this is the conversation.
50-50 is she take care of her stuff. Like, she might have, if y'all don't live together, she got her own crib. She take care of her stuff. Yeah. You got your own stuff. Or if y'all do live together,
yeah, there you go. That's more what I'm thinking.
If y'all do live together, 50-50 is, man, I pay the rent, he pay the utilities. You know what I'm saying? I do this. You're like, however, y'all figure out whatever work. Exactly. We figure out whatever work for us. And that's all I encourage people to do. Like, don't feel like if the man should pay for everything or the woman should, like, figure it out what works for y'all. And whatever works for y'all, if it takes the man to do 30 and the woman do 70, but y'all are flourishing, that's what matters. That's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? Y'all happy, y'all flourishing. That's all that matters.
It still adds up to 100 at the end of the day.
Point made. That's all we trying to do is get to 100.
Well, it's interesting because I think that when people focus on the 50-50 thing, all they're thinking about is just, you know, like light bill, water, buying groceries. But when I think about 50-50, I also think about, like, investments. I also think about, like, all right, so if, you know, let's say I make $60,000 a year, and let's say, you know, my woman makes the same $60,000 a year, you know, so that's 120 together. And let's say we're living in a house, and it takes all of my money for me to pay the bills and do everything, and she has all her money doing what she wants to do with it. And let's say instead of, like, investing the money that she's making into us, like I'm doing, she's investing that money into her.
And that's what it disconnected.
Well, that happens a lot of times.
It do.
So what ends up happening is, like, you hit this stage of being stagnant, where you as a couple, y'all not growing. She might be growing because, you know, well, she probably just blowing the money on dumb stuff. But, you know, if y'all actually work together, y'all actually make $120,000 a year, and what I just proved is that $60,000 can actually afford us our bills, which means that the other $60,000 can be investing in, you know, like, growing it. But you got to have that mindset of, like, yo, a house together is together.
Well, it
not
takes
mine and yours.
It takes whoever, whether it be the man or the woman, to bring that to the light, because y'all might keep going in that same circle and going in circles.
Yeah.
But it takes somebody, look, man, something ain't right. You make 60, I make 60. Look, let's
But
What
she
you
might
want-
not want that. She might be like, nah,
Then-
I don't.
then
I want my money.
And if she don't, then I feel like that's not the woman for you.
Yeah,
Really?
for sure.
You get what I'm saying? So if you that's when you if you go to a woman and you tell her and you come down with facts, logical facts, like look,
Yeah.
son, we doing this and I see you doing good, you traveling, you doing what you need to do.
Yeah,
But
I'm struggling.
I'm struggling. After I pay the rent, like
I have
if
nothing.
if she not willing to help, then that's not the woman
It's
for
not the
you.
woman for you.
Yeah.
It's not the woman for
Same.
yeah. you're
That's the
right.
part. That's the only thing is. So like
Yeah.
that's why I said you have to have that communication, and you would know that's not the woman for you. Now if you talk to your
So does that make you less of a man?
no, it doesn't. Why would it make you less
Do,
of
do,
a
you, do you think people? Do you think there are people in the world
ask the
who
only
believe?
woman at the table?
Well, no, I'm asking both.
No, I'm saying-
Do you think that there are people in the woman? Sorry, you got me messed up. There golly, do you think there are people in the world who believes that makes you less of a man?
There probably are, but all I'm saying, what I feel is just that when it comes down to it, if I'm doing this, and this, you doing this, and this, there should be no reason why nothing shouldn't everything should add up.
Mm-hmm.
Everything should be able to come together. Nobody should be doing more than one. And who's to say that maybe she is investing? Maybe she didn't tell you that she's investing. Maybe she's gotten a couple of life insurance policies and you don't see where her money is going. But then again, maybe
Well, why
somebody
wouldn't she
do.
tell me that? If we're together and we're if we're partners, why would that be something that, if it's for us, if it's
Yeah, I would-
benefiting both of us,
Because
it would be
she
kind
might
of
be
strange.
thinking that,
I don't
oh,
like
if
that
I
either.
do
that would
this-
be kind of strange.
I don't like that.
If I
Yeah,
do
that's a little
this-
strange.
Because now I think you might try to kill me.
Well, you talking about for the insurance money? Okay.
No, she said
Oh,
life
yeah, she
insurance.
did.
Yeah, life
She did.
insurance. So I'm
She
saying-
did.
But I'm just saying, but what if she is investing and maybe she just didn't tell you because she maybe felt as though you thought that she oh, that's stupid. Like, why would you do that? Like,
Mm.
why would you do?
Well, if we're in a position where we need to elevate, getting more life insurance is stupid. I ain't gonna lie. Like, if we're in a situation where,
Not if you can
I mean,
borrow for your life insurance, because they got different life insurance policies.
my guy, if we're in a situation where I'm drowning,
Oh no, if you're drowning, that's
and,
different.
but that's different.
I'm talking about the
Yeah,
situation
that's
I explained earlier,
Yeah,
where after I pay all the bills, I ain't got no money, and you buy life insurance. That we need to
we
get
gotta
on the same
disconnect.
page.
Yeah, we gotta disconnect.
we need to
Yeah,
get on the
yeah.
same page,
Some
dog.
disconnects on
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, but so it's interesting, right? Have y'all heard, I'm sure y'all heard some women say they won't date a guy that makes under a certain amount of money.
I've heard it.
Okay.
I see. They
What do
say
you-
they won't.
what do you
a
think?
Woman take them to a certain restaurant and all that. But go ahead.
Yeah, no. Okay, well, what do y'all think about that? Do you think they understand what they're asking for?
They can't. That's
They
a
are.
girl's mind.
That's artificial women. I feel like
Yeah,
the women that
that's a
say stuff
girl's
like
mind.
that
That's
are
a
not
girl.
girls that's succeeding. Like they're just they're looking for a come up. So I'm good. Don't date a nigga that because I ain't got that right now.
I actually think they don't even know what they're asking for. I actually think,
I think-
it's embedded in ignorance.
I think they do know what they're asking for.
Well, the
I think
reason
they're
why-
looking for somebody molded them to that. They told them that you want a man that makes this amount.
Sure.
You want this.
But
you know
do
what
they
I'm
actually know what that means though? Do they know what the
Maybe
when I
not.
say by that? Okay, and
Maybe
that's
not.
what I'm talking about when I say I don't think they know. Some of them might. And actually, my girl and I was having this conversation, and I sent her this video, and she was kind of like, well, maybe it's because they did this, and she was sticking up for the girls. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And of course, I wasn't. Hey, baby, yeah, I'm talking about you. So I was saying to her that so a lot of these, people who say this stuff, okay, they say they want a man that makes 6 figures or more, or whatever, 7 figures, right? Usually people who make that kind of money have to work a lot
Yeah.
a lot more than people who work 40 hours a week, right? A lot more, right? And what that means is like, see, from what I remember, even when I was dating and even with the woman I have now, women love to be romanced. And when I say romance, I don't just mean in the physical sense. I mean talking, listening, time spent, and when they get off of work and they're talking about that coworker and they want somebody to hear them, and you're just like, damn, we still talking about this,
Just
but you
listen.
still got to listen. So how is that guy that's not available to you gonna satisfy those parts of the woman's build up, the woman's biology? How is he gonna be there if that's all you care about? If it's just the money, it's nothing else. Is the relationship then more artificial? Is it just more like, hey, I'm paying you for sex
I
or
was just about
time?
to say that. A lot of
That's
women
what it
don't
sounds
care.
like.
They just want the artificial. So if they can,
Mhm.
if they can show their friends, look at this, look at my
Look what he
house, and
did.
look
But
what
they're
I got.
unhappy though. They're gonna be
They
unhappy.
might not be. They might.
Well, they
not.
will
They
be.
will be.
They will be
They-
because it's just
they might not be.
woman needs romance, bro.
For sure.
Like I don't care what they. Oh, I
But
don't
she's
need
gonna
no
get
man
it
to
from
do that.
somewhere.
They
She's
gotta
gonna
get
from
it.
somewhere.
However they get it, or however, whatever the situation is, she had a goal and she hit her goal. So if she found a person that's willing to, what I call them is a sucker. If you're willing to do something like that for somebody that's like not,
Or
sure-
maybe not. Maybe it's just nothing to him, and he's just like,
I mean-
look, she here when I need her to
All
be.
right, so if it ain't
do it.
nothing to him, I'm sure he got about 2-3 other girls.
That's
like
what
that.
I'm saying.
So,
Right.
so to the woman, she looking at it as a win-win. So I say either way, it's like a situation where they not looking at it like she's
So
like,
so it is artificial.
it is exactly. So I'm looking at it like you got some people that be like, bro, I seen a motherfucker say, I seen a rich motherfucker say, I don't pay the girl for coming, I pay her to leave.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that before.
So
I've heard
so
that
like
before.
if it works, then it works. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's just like when you speak on them type levels, that's just a whole different level of scenario. We
Yeah.
talking about just regular, you know what I'm saying? You making 70,000 a year or whatever. Like we talking about regular. But if you talking about somebody that makes 200,000-300,000 a year, then he might be like, man, I'm willing to, for you to make me feel a certain type of way, I'm willing to go ahead and kick you this money and value these purses and whatever, and
right.
I'm going back to my other girl.
Because the
Like,
truth,
you know what I'm
the
saying?
truth is, like, you know, I would rather see, because actually Claudine asked me this, like, well, what if Sabrina? Would you want Sabrina to date a guy that's not on her, that she has to take care of and blah blah blah? And I was like, you know, it's an interesting question because it's throughout my life, whenever women try to get their like points across, they use my daughter. They always do that. It's just like the go-to, right?
Yeah.
And it's so I'm not the typical guy that's gonna be like, oh, I don't want my daughter dating and that, bro.
But
I know
nobody's
what
gonna
I
be
was
good enough
doing.
for her anyway. Nobody's ever going to be good enough for her.
So
anyway.
the truth is, I actually don't think like that. Because I had sisters, like, and I seen how they operate, and y'all are terrible. And I'm not getting into that. So Sabrina gonna do what she does, and hopefully she remembers the things I taught her. And that's all I can say. I'm not gonna get stressed out, get more gray hairs over it. You know? Yeah, I'm about to keep whipping out the dye. Nah. So but like she was saying, well, what if your daughter, you know, dated? Well, the thing is, I would want my daughter to kind of date somebody who's kind of starting out and they built something together. I think there's more respect to be had in a situation like that versus she come, you know, home and, hey dad, this is my boyfriend, and he's like some, I don't know, golfer, like famous golfer, like Tiger Woods' son or some shit. I'm like, hold up. This dude's worth more than all of us, my whole family. Like, I don't know if we're ready for that. You know what I'm
Not
saying?
even really much. What can you tell somebody like that?
You can't tell nothing. So, well, sure. And then, you know, but I don't want her to be dating a bum.
You want the balance, like,
You know what I'm saying? It would be nice to be a balance, but she would have to learn. You know, she would have to learn, you know, what that means and all that. And hopefully, like I said, some of the stuff that I taught her.
One thing I say about that, all you can do is drop the jewels.
That's
bro.
it, my
Everybody
boy.
is humans. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm learning that now, having a daughter, even though my daughter's a baby.
Yeah.
So I'm like, but I'm sitting there like, damn, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck what I do
Yeah.
or tell her. Like, at the end of the day, she gonna still make her own
Because
decision.
you got a
You remember
sister.
what you did to women. You know what I'm saying?
You got a sister, so you could see
Nah, for sure.
how they grow up and how what they grow into and how they express themselves as women. We have no business telling them like, yo, we could advise.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, my dad has 2 daughters. He raised 2 daughters. And my older sister, what the hell I'm gonna tell her?
yeah, nah.
Girl, you should wear this. Like,
It's your
I
man
can't tell her
friend
that.
too, though, cause like I look at my little sister and I be like, I'm proud. Like I look
Yeah.
at now, I be like, yeah, now gonna be the shit.
Yeah.
'Cause I just see how she cares. So,
Yeah,
of course,
right,
she
right,
like
right,
dudes,
right.
she do whatever, but you know what I'm saying? She put herself first. Like,
Right,
make
right.
sure I'm straight. But everybody that got a sister don't have that situation.
Right.
There's like some women that just crazy over.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
ready
yeah.
to jump out the window for this nigga.
True,
So it's
true,
like,
true, true,
You know what I'm
true.
saying? I know my sister and I, you know what I'm saying, on it. You get what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like, but you never know your situation.
True.
Like, you might get, and that might not be the situation for your daughter or whatever the situation is. Like, your daughter might just be so crazy over this boy. Like, you never know how
Yeah.
it's going.
And if she gets like that, hey, guess what? She's gonna have to get through it.
Yeah,
What the hell am
for
I
sure.
gonna do about
For
it?
sure, for sure.
Just let her get through it.
That's the point I was
Yeah,
making. So I'm
yeah.
saying it's like not one size fit all with that. Like,
Exactly.
you really have to go with it as you like. All you have to do is like try to install what you installed in her from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? And be present.
So like one thing I tell my girl, like and we can like end soon, but my girl, like, she's always wanted a guy that kind of does certain things, right? Like, so let's say Dave Chappelle made this joke, and I don't know, I might have set it up here before, but he was like, you know, when you date like a younger woman, all you gotta do is buy them like shoes and a purse or something, like, you know, something slight, you know what I mean? But you date a woman that's a little older or up in, you know, our age or whatever, that got a house, you gotta replace the roof. You gotta you gotta get the AC unit fixed. You know what I'm saying? You gotta replace the floors. Yeah, that ain't no handbag money, bro. That bag ain't nothing could fit to that. So it's funny because you know, my girl really likes the fact that like I'm into stuff like that. I'm into building. I'm into like creating.
Yeah.
But she also sees now that she's like, you know, she's always wanted a guy to get up, go cut the grass. Like, stop letting the grass grow 3 weeks, like, you know what I'm saying, tall, or can you take the trash out? Like, you know, like these little, very little things. But now she's like, because he's so into this stuff, he's always busy. You see what I'm saying? Like, he always got something to do. Peter, can you sit down? No, I got this to do. No, I got to go take care of this. No, I got to meet with this person. I got da. So then, you know, you kind of see it's like a double-edged sword. Sometimes what you think you want might not be what you need. You know what I'm saying? And that dude that you have, yeah, he might be on the couch a little bit too much. You know, he might be on the game a little bit too much. But you know, when he on the game, guess where he's not?
Out in the streets.
Out in the streets.
You know what my mama told me, bro? She say, like, you never gonna get somebody that's 100% everything you want.
No.
So she said what you have to do is look for somebody that's 70, 60. And, like, if that 70, 60 make you happy, you know what I'm saying? You just put up with the other 30, 40 that you don't like.
Yeah.
But, like, a lot of people are searching for, like, 100%. Like,
they're searching for perfection.
They want a motherfucker that's, you want a gangster, college educated, that cut the grass.
He said a gangster college educated.
But that's what they be looking for, bro. I'm serious, bro. That's what they be wanting, though, bro. Keep it a bit.
Yeah, I feel it. It's like an oxymoron. It's like that doesn't exist.
They be like, man, I want him to be able to. They'll be mad as a bitch if he be like, man, we gotta call the police. They want him to be like, hell no, I'm going to get my pistol. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just trying to live it right. I don't want to shoot nobody. You know what I'm saying? But like everyone, so it's always you gotta have that balance. But like that's real, bro. Don't nobody really want. It's kind of hard to find that perfect. So you gotta find what fits for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's why.
And my dad definitely told me that he was like, and I actually have a video on my phone where my dad was saying we were sitting up in the doctor's office or whatever. Okay. And he was like, my parents had been married at that point for 43 years, but they were just coming up on their 43rd anniversary. And he said that you have to find somebody that is going to be willing to put up with your bullshit even when you don't feel like putting up with your bullshit. Like, you just have to find that person that's going to give you that healthy balance, as well as like, all right, look, you got it. I'm gonna let you have your moment. You have your moment. All right, you good? We coming back together. All right, let's do this and let's pick it up and keep on walking.
That remind me of my grandparents. I done seen my grandparents arguing. And it's like harmless arguing, you know what I'm saying? Because they old, but they arguing. Such. All right, now, Sandra, what we gonna eat for dinner?
Yeah, right.
And it just go from the argument. I guess we gonna go to Bojangles. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, that's really what you strive for. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like...
Well, it's interesting because I feel like it should be like that, but I feel as though we've gotten so sensitive as a society. We hold certain things in. We go to bed mad. We wake up mad. We go to work mad. It's like, yo, damn, bro, like...
That's too much stress.
Let it go, dog. Like, it's not good for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are mad about something that happened 10 years ago in a relationship. Like, well,
that's
why
something
the hell
I
are
asked
you...
for, bro. I asked for to like not let shit weigh heavy on me, because like I feel like if somebody try to play me, bro, I take that shit real personal. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of people would be like that, and they get misguided or misused. But like sometimes, like I just feel like, yo, I'm not trying to do nothing to you, and you pushing something at me, like I don't know how to like. I'm getting better with it, like backing down, like, all right, I'm just let her have that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm really somebody, like, if I know I'm not doing anything wrong and you pushing something at me,
I'm gonna tell you something, bro. If I actually jumped at everything my girl said or did, there would never be peace.
No, for sure.
You see what I'm saying?
That's why I say I'm
Like,
trying to get to where
yeah,
I'm
right.
trying to get to that point.
Right.
Like, and I'm getting like slowly but surely,
Yeah,
but I know
'cause-
exactly what you
Yeah,
mean.
because certain things.
Sometimes you gotta let it go.
I used to watch this show called American Dad. And it's a stupid cartoon.
I watched
right?
that shit.
You watched it, and Stan said to his daughter Haley, who had gotten married to this like little hippie kind of dude,
Yeah.
and he was like, Haley, marriage is hard. You got to learn to ignore the nonsense. And it's crazy. It's a silly cartoon, but that was a hell of a message, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Thanks. though.
Like, and you know, bringing it back to men, women. One thing I'll tell you about men, and you know, if I'm wrong, I'm sure somebody on the internet would say it. Men are very easy, and I know sometimes women don't think that. We're very easy. See, women, and I actually told this to my girl the other day. We were talking about somebody. Women have a lot of power, a lot more than sometimes. It's interesting that they don't realize it. It's so interesting. Like, I feel as though if I was born a woman with the knowledge I have, my life would be so much easier. But that's just me, though. You know what I'm saying? I could be wrong. But a woman, you know, who understands her womanhood and who understands, you know, a man, she can get anything she wants out of her man. Like, you know, and I'm not just talking about sexual. That's part of it. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot of power in your words. You have a lot of power in your attitude, your eyes, how you look at this dude. You know, the type of food you cook for him. If you cook, well, I would recommend. Now, this is me. This is my own biases. I gotta have a woman who cook. I'm Jamaican. I can't help that. But when my woman cook a certain food for me, I feel the love in the meal. When you know what I'm saying, when she says certain words to me, when she's like, hey Peter, you want me to rub your feet, da da da, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like, it just, the message it sends, you know, it just goes a mile. Like, and you know, she the things she does for me makes it so that I would never betray her because of just the type of person that she is for me. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think sometimes, you know, yeah, men are from what was it? Men are from Mars, women from Venus.
Yeah.
But I actually think that women, like, if sometimes, and I guess this is hard to do, pride is a bitch, bro. And there are people in relationships that are failing and they know what to do to fix it. I'm saying marriages that's been 10, 15, 20 years and they know what to do to fix it. Well, he ain't doing this, he ain't doing that, he ain't doing this. And in his head, he's like, well, I remember when you were younger, you used to dress up every so often. You used to put on some lingerie, and it made me want to come home more. It made me, or you used to say nicer things to me. You used to compliment, you know, my haircut. You used to say, you know, you used to be more interested in me. And obviously, this goes both ways. Obviously, right? And I think that sometimes if we can, you know, that pride can go away. And if like I said, women understand their power, because I think, bro, women have so much power, so much more than they actually
I think
use,
women
bro.
don't know how to use their power.
You said they don't know?
Nah.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree with that's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you 100%.
Because think about it, bro.
I'm telling you, I'm
What if
agreeing
this
with you. There's a
woman-
lot of shit that your woman can get. I mean, I know for a fact my woman can get me to do if she knew how to, if she knew
Just
like,
be nice.
just knew what to do.
Just be
Like,
nice.
just be
And I'm
like-
saying nice.
She know what
Obviously.
to
I
do.
ain't trying to say what I'm trying to say.
And every time, like, it's shit like, we easy, bro.
We are
like
very
a fucking
easy.
dog, bro. Like,
It's
rub our
insane.
belly, be
It's
like,
so crazy.
It's not that difficult.
It's
bro.
not.
You know what I'm saying? But they be making it like, bro, I'm not. I know I ain't difficult.
Right.
It's easy to make me happy.
Right.
Like, I ain't gonna bullshit.
Like, you don't need to buy me. You don't need to buy me jewelry. You don't need to put a ring on my finger. I don't need none of that to be happy. All I need as a man is for you to smile, not drive me crazy, right? Arguing about some nonsense, you know what I'm saying? And every so often, you know what I'm saying, let's get a little, you know, that's it. Like, and you know, be home. Like, be present. Be that emotional, like, what it
That
like?
security.
Yeah, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You know
That
what I don't like,
armrest.
bro? I don't like the phone, bro.
Okay.
I hate like, I feel like women be on their phone. I feel like people be on their phone.
I ain't gonna lie, thank God my girl don't have social media, bro.
Man, that phone a motherfucker.
Yeah, thank
bro.
God.
And I'd be like, what the fuck is you watching? Like, what's going on? Like, why the fuck
Yeah.
is you so locked in? on the phone? Like,
TikTok.
Like, it be
It's TikTok,
bullshit.
ain't
Yeah,
it?
but it be bullshit. And I'd be like,
Everybody
I'm
locked
sitting
in
there
on that
like, bro,
TikTok
like,
shit.
I don't know. I don't get on social media like talk about
Yeah,
it. Like
my
I miss
girl
out on a
don't have
lot.
it.
Like people
Yeah.
send like I have Instagram, I have Snapchat, I have Facebook. I don't get on social media like that. Some people be sending me memes and whatever all
Yeah.
the time, and I'm like, okay, like my inbox is full. Like I don't like it because I
Yeah.
feel as though that it takes away from being in the present, in the moment. And that's something that I appreciate that my man doesn't have social media either.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, and that's what prompted me to be like, I don't really need it either. Like, as long as I can have access to him when I need, that's all that I need. I'm good. Like,
So-
I like to think that I'm easy.
Not really.
Like, so I think that there's some women who, like, we know and we understand what it is that what we need to do, and we know what we want from our man. And if we can find that healthy balance,
Sometimes
It's good
I
money.
think sometimes women need to like actually manipulate a little bit. I think so.
I
think
agree with you.
I think they need to like. I think they'd be happier sometimes if they just kind of, because you got some women that are really upset about things that they could fix with just literally just giving the guy, making him think he's in control. Oh, he wants control? All right, I'll make him think he is just for a little bit to calm him down, calm things down around the house. And you know what I'm saying? And I'll just run it a certain way because they actually have the power to do that, but they refuse to because of pride. I don't want him to feel like he's in control. I don't want him to feel like da-da-da-da, whatever the case. But I don't know. It's something I'm speaking from.
A
what
way
I've
a
seen
woman
and
can
what
talk
I've
to you
learned.
and everything, bro. I done been bullshitting and fucking with a woman, and just the way she talks to a nigga make you be like, man, bitch, I'm ready to goddamn leave everything and just
Yeah,
feel
come,
me?
yeah, for sure.
because like some women know that though.
Yeah.
Every woman don't know how to do it, but some women know how to do that shit. Like,
They're in
man,
tune. They're in tune
look, they
with
know how to
themselves.
goddamn.
Yeah.
They feel like, and they can make motherfuckers go to war with each
Yes.
other and all type of shit, and it be like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, you might not want it, but it's just we saying that like as an extreme. Like you don't have to necessarily go to war, but we're saying like you gotta realize the power that a woman really has. Like
Yeah.
you could talk, a woman can just talk in that sweet, soft voice, and it just
Yeah.
make you be like,
Bro,
oh shit,
bro,
like,
I got
what
3
you mean?
examples.
You get what
and
I'm
we-
saying?
I got 3 things. 3 things that women did. 3 different women that did 3 separate things, and it spoke so like. I mean, it was just like with this absolution that I was like, damn, I got to do it.
Yeah,
My the girl I dated before I got married, whenever I made her sad, there was something I had to like. I just had to fix it for some reason. With her, I just had to fix it, bro.
yeah.
There was one time, you remember how you said you had to be at work 7 a.m. and you
Mhm.
drove from West Point to Norfolk?
Mm-hmm.
I did something, and it wasn't even nothing crazy from what I remember. And she was sad, and I think I said something crazy to her. You know what I'm saying? I hurt her feelings. And she was going to school in Baltimore. And I drove from Newport News to Baltimore, bought flowers to apologize and
Yeah.
some Popeye's chicken, dropped it off, and drove back.
Wow.
I mean, I wasn't there for 2 minutes, dog. I was just like, hey, I'm sorry, boom, gone. Because I had to be at work the next day. You know, that's like a 4.5 hour drive one way, right?
Mhm.
So that was one. The second thing, my ex-wife said to me, she was in Italy at the time, right? That's where she lived. She was like, you can either, what did she say? Run, hop, or skip. Whatever you gotta do, you need to come get me. And that, I was like, damn, that shit hit, dog. I was like, I gotta go get her. I gotta go get her. Damn, I gotta go get her. And then the girl I'm with now, you know, she said to me that, you know, and she was living in Georgia at the time, and there were other women here who were, you know, prospects or people that, you know, could have been. And because of the presence that she held in my life, even though she was like 8 to 10 hours away, I still picked her over people that lived 10 minutes down the
Yeah,
street.
about to say 5 minutes away.
You see what I'm saying? So, and it was just certain things that she would say, and the presence, and she used her womanhood in this way. Because like you said, bro, we're very, it's almost like we're dumb, bro. Like we're
Nah, for
really simple. But for some reason, people make it so difficult because I want a man that's this, and I want a man that's that, and I want a man that's that. And they're looking for this perfection. But, you know, he's not going to be like that. You know what I'm saying? But if you find somebody that might have, I would say 7 out of the 10 things, even 5 out of the 10 things you have on your list, that might work for you.
Nah, for
And
sure.
you might realize that, damn, them 5 things are way more important than what I thought they were. You know what I'm saying? So to end here, like, what's a man? You decide.
Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. Like, share, subscribe. We need y'all to comment, please,
Facts, man.